Hello, tribe. My name is Linda Onemefero, and I welcome you to another episode of the networking series. Today, I know you've been enjoying over time in the series, and I know you've been getting value. So, if it is your first time coming to my channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell to get a notification when the next value drops. And if you're watching me live on Facebook, go ahead and click on that follow button, because that is one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year and beyond. And I'm going to share with you why. So today we are going to talk about the power of communities. You know, a lot of us, entrepreneurs, creators in the online and offline space alike, we always advise that you join communities, especially in the area of building connections or building networks. But a lot of people do not maximize these things because they don't know the power that dwell in communities. And that is why this series is for you. If you know someone who has been in a lot of communities but cannot be able to get a substantial result out of, or even confused about why they even joined the community, let them be invited in this series, because this series is for them. Do well to actually copy the link and share to them, because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. And if you are here already, I welcome you to my channel. All right, this is your solution series. Are you ready for this? Amazing. So I've been in that area, especially when I started out. I was asked to join communities, but one of the mistakes I made that I never want you to make again, because you've come across this series, is joining communities without a purpose. Write that down in the comment section. Don't join a community without a purpose. There are some criteria and things you have to check out before you join a community. If not, I will tell you what will become of you by the end of this series. Right? Right. It is very, very important you start with a why. Your why is going to enable you know how best to maximize in the process. All right. And then the goal as well, of course, shapes the process. And so I'm going to share with you the process, and I'm going to give you the mindset that encourages you to be able to do this and make the most out of the communities you are already part of, or what is actually dwelling in those communities you've never taken advantage of because you cannot see. So it's time for your eyes to be open so you can actually maximize those communities you are already part of. Are you ready for this? So I'm going to give you three basic things that you need to understand that will help you harness your communication, your connection, and maximizing that community. And it's going to be on a dimension of 3 C's, right? Don't forget that someone who needs to be here, you need to copy the link and share to them. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button while you watch, right? Okay, so basically the first thing is that every community, every reasonable community, every valuable community has a set of rules. They have a vision and a mission guiding them. They have things that they encourage in their group which would drive the purpose of the community or whatsoever it is. So first thing you do when you join that community of your interest or of your passion is to actually to find out how their structure works. What are their group rules? Probably online, offline, wherever it is. How do they work? What controls their behavior? It is the first thing that enables you to know how best to penetrate in the community. But people don't pay attention to this. They just want significance, and they think that getting significance is all about the moment you show up, people will begin to, you begin to command all the influence, whereas we've not seen your value. You're just getting here. Hello. Amazing. So the first thing you want to do is to actually check out the structure of which they are operating on, so you know how best to be part of the community. So because you can now see the vision, you can see the mission, what this is going to teach you is the first C, what I call courtesy. Now, a lot of people do not have courtesy. Courtesy demands that when you are done studying the structure, the group's rules, the vision, or the basic things that the community allows and how they work, the next thing you want to do is to create a connection with the intention of being part to the admins or the people in charge. That is why in any community you join offline, there are people that are called the orientation team, which carries you along on how to benefit in the community. That is the first place you begin to ask questions so you know how best to maximize the space. And so first thing they want to do is to register your name, tell you your department and all other processes. That's the first thing that they do in both your offline communities, right? They want to keep a record of the people that are in the community. They want to do that even in your church, in different areas where you belong. The first thing they want to do is registration. Now you want to register your presence. So it gives you a sense of courtesy because you know how the structure works to actually reach out to the people in charge, the team, the department, or the admins that are in charge to be able to register your presence. Now that is where you communicate your intentions, right? That is where you communicate your intentions. A lot of people with low self-esteem don't even get to this first point, right? And then because you have a strong self-esteem, because that is why we are building confident global champions. Because what we do here is to enable these intentional youngsters be able to build strong self-esteem and then build a strategic network or connections that helps them to thrive in their unique spaces, personal brand, professional brand, and whatever it is. So many people don't get to this because of their low self-esteem. And because you have it, that is not the topic. The topic for today is not about self-esteem, right? And so if you have a strong self-esteem already, then you can now move ahead to be able to work on this strategy that I'm sharing with you, which is the first C. That's courtesy. So courtesy demands that before you bring in whatever value, because value is going to be appreciated when it is not only relevant but also needed. Write that down. So value that is going to be appreciated is going to be the one that is not just only relevant but also needed. So those who give credibility to your message are the people who need those kind of information. That's why you see people when they get into community, they are just coming with a selfish interest. They start posting in links, they start doing a lot of things in the communities, and before they know it, they are already positioning themselves as a scam. And then they are odd numbers. They will begin to now remove them. You have a very good intention, but you're using the wrong approach. So that is why first thing the community is going to teach you is what I call courtesy. And because of the fact that you need to be able to understand how it works, that's why you maintain the courtesy to communicate your intention at the point of your registration. Because your registration is not just about writing your name, it's about bringing in your presence. There is something you are coming into that community for. And that is why starting out to join a community must be based on your purpose, because it is your purpose that actually guides you to what you are going to do in that space. All right? So while you do that, you will now be able to see that you have to communicate your intentions to those community. What that is going to do for you is that you begin to create connections with the leaders there, with the admins there. And by the time they know that you are coming with great intention, they will put an eye on you. That's a presence, right? There are certain questions you ask the admin, right? And all of that. But not everyone has the boldness to actually do what I'm telling you. And that's why we teach about self-esteem as well, right? So by the time you do this, you understand, you will learn how to communicate your thoughts. Because first thing in creating connections in a community is communication. So let your intention be equal to your perception. That is why you are having that communication as the bridge between your intentions and the perception you intend, right? So that is basically what you do to be able to maintain courtesy. Studying the group rules to know how best to be part of the community. So the second C that helps you to maximize the best of the communities you are part of is what I call contribution. Now you already know how this particular community works, the structure that they, and you already communicated your intention. By the virtue of the response, you will now be able to know how best to be able to position yourself, because contribution helps you position yourself. Contribution is what actually makes you functional in the community. There are a lot of dysfunctional people in community. People do not even know that you exist. right? People don't know that you exist because you are not making contribution. And remember that contribution creates connection. So even without you not sliding into people's DM, telling them anything, by virtue of contribution, they will pay attention to you. So what you do with contribution in those communities is actually to position yourself. And also, in return, while you are positioning yourself, what happens is that your growth will experience a quantum leap, because you always want to be in a state where you have to make that contribution, and you cannot give what you don't have. So what happens is, because you are ready to make a contribution, to give something, you will need to invest in yourself more to have something to give. So in return, you are gaining growth, and you are aligning with those things that the communities are bringing to the table as well, to your own growth, and then sharing from your own point of view, which is your touch of uniqueness to the presence you have registered through your courtesy. So it helps you to position. And another thing contribution helps you to do in a community is it helps you in a shorter period of time to discern your continuity in that community, and as well to align your purpose with theirs. So many people have been in a community for 6 months because of lack of contribution and everything. They don't even know if these things are aligning. What they are bringing to the table is all of this. They are just on their own and all of that. You are always on the receiving end. It's not a good one. So in your contribution, will you be able to position yourself and then discern in time, in alignment of your purpose, and to discern also the continuity of your contribution? Exactly. Because you want to be in a community whereby the dispensation of your value is recognized, appreciated, and as well as rewarded. That is the right community to be, so you can be able to captivate from the energy that is there to live your dreams. The third C. Are you ready? The third C is actually what I call consistency. People have the good intention of making contribution, but they are not consistent. Now, your consistency is going to show the level of your growth. And people who have been paying attention right from the first day you started making your contribution are the people that you position to be able to attract opportunities from. So they have seen your level of growth, that at a point when you join the community, you were talking this way. And over time, as with your little contribution, as a result of a compound effect, what you begin to do is to begin to attract opportunities from these men. Because see, your wealth is in the community, is not in the bank. And if you argue that your wealth is in the bank, then there is something wrong with your concept of wealth. You know that your concept of wealth is poor. Because opportunities lies in people, and people are in communities. So when you build a community who love your dispensation of value, who love your contribution, they feel motivated, they find value that is needed and is accepted by the community every single day, and they feed on them. You will begin to attract them rather than chase people in the community. This is what a lot of people do not do. And that is why we have a lot of numbers in the community, but less members in the community. All right? So you want to be consistent in order to attract opportunities to you. Consistency attracts opportunity to you. You will see people, maybe on your 20th day, someone slide into your DM. How do you come up with this? That is an attraction point. All right? So you have to be consistent, because it is your consistent contribution that begins to draw the law of attraction. Consistency is the name of the game, and that is why one of the resources we provide helps people to be consistent, because in growing your confidence, it's in levels and it demands consistency. If you must be super confident in anything that you do, or any of the new venture or challenge or opportunities that come your way, right? So while you are also trying to attract these opportunities to you, and the power of consistency in the community is that your Bible will always say that kings, right? Because you are not just going to attract any kind of person who keep quiet. You are going to attract people who are going to reward your value. So you begin to attract kings, because the word of God says in Isaiah that kings come to the brightness of your rising. And remember that the continuity and the consistency of your contribution is what shows your level of growth, and that is the way you begin to rise. So you begin to attract kings, because kings can only come right? Kings can only come to the brightness of your rising. They don't just come because you are in the group. They come because they can see the level of your consistency. They can see the level of your growth over time, dispensing value in that community. So how many communities have you been and you are not able to apply these 3 C's? Now is the time for you to get up and make the most out of your communities, because your wealth is in the community. You don't need to be everywhere. And remember that it is your purpose that guides the community where you are. And if you want to structure your scatter, you don't have to be in so many communities to actually succeed. That is why your purpose is very powerful. And then the alignment of that purpose is what goes through this series. So if you are the kind of person that actually join communities without purpose, click the link in the description to be able to have a one-on-one conversation with me. And if you're the kind of person that want to know how best to start this, maybe you're not super confident, go ahead and click the link in the description, right? And we'll be able to get you started and let you know, build up the psychology and the concept that helps you to be able to modify process, because connection and maximizing things progressively demands connection, and maximizing things progressively demands you understanding the concept first, and it questions your creativity, right? So that is what. So today, you don't just want to be in the number, you want to be a member of the community. And this is how. And that is where you begin to command your influence. That is where you begin to grow your wealth. That is where you begin to attract opportunities. That is how kings begin to come to the brightness of your rising. And that should be your story after watching this series. And if you want to be part of the Confident Global Champion, type CGC in the comment section. And if you're watching me live on Facebook, click the link on my bio if you have any further questions that demands my personal attention. And of course, don't forget that my link is also in the description, right? If you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, let's sort these things out and make the most out of the connections, help your self-esteem to be able to live your dreams. I hope you have gotten value from this series. All right, until I come your way in the next series, I still remain your friend and your go-to-get networking strategist, Linda on MF4. Don't forget to copy the link and share, and then subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Bye for now.